Hi everyone. I posted a new slide to discuss about uh, the storyboard layout. The storyboard is the screen that your apps can uh, be shown, and that is only um, the portion of the app development that can um, be visible. All others are um, controlling or modeling of your apps. So storyboard is somehow very important. Without it, then user cannot communicate with your apps. Not only that, if you have the better the storyboard to be designed, then user can feel much more friendlier to your um, iPhone apps. So this is really something that you need to get familiar before you do real coding. Myself also, uh, right? I am not really good at the storyboard layout, but I'm still trying to get a better way that I can do. Okay, so this is a little bit of the lessons that I want you to get a summary of something that I learned from the storyboard layout. From my experience, there are two ways that you can do. So I'm going to do two approaches that you could do today. The first one is to replace graphical elements directly on the storyboard, and if anything needed, then you can uh, set the constraints so that your graphical elements can be properly visualized. Another way that you could do to use stack views. Stack views. There are two types of stack views that we tried in the class, but somehow if you don't do practice much, then you may uh, screw up. Uh, that's what we did the last time, right? So, so you have to watch this video very carefully, and there's no other video that tells you that these two possible ways that you could do. Okay. Even using stack views, there are two ways that you could do. Uh, I would say those two ways, um, one top-down approach to use the stack views, the other one is a bottom-up. All right, so we'll try to do that. This is an example of the homework assignments. The first homework assignments. It is not. I think by the time that you watch this, probably I uh, may be able to post the description of your first homework assignments. But anyway, uh, what happens here is that um, there's a label like the prompt to request the user input so that user can input John. And then another prompt ask you about your college level. Okay, so if you are a sophomore, then you can put 2. If you are a graduate student, then you may be able to put number 5. Okay, so if you could, I mean, this is nothing but a button, right? So if you click this button, then it shows John is 2 year at college. See here, John comes from user input, one of the data, and number 2, that is also comes from user input. Well, the others are generated by the program. All right. Um, the button that you need to do more is, well, first of all, in the first homework assignments, I do not want you to do this, but in the second homework, maybe, if you click this, then more things will be displayed here. Maybe that comes from your already defined uh, uh, somehow data structures, so that you can uh, pick up one according to name or according to the grade, so that you can pick one of those and displays here. That is also possible. So I want you to think of something about a little bit more intelligent way. Okay, not just predetermined, but a little bit of intelligent way of displaying in this field. So this is not really given to you, but I want you to uh, um, maximize um, your creativeness. Okay, um, and then maybe I may ask you to do save this part to to the file system in the operating systems, which means on your device. Okay, so let's take a look. Before we go further, we'll look at how we can organize graphical elements on the storyboard. Okay, the first one is that you can do uh, directly on your uh, storyboard. So you place your element, okay, and then for each element, if it needs some, then you can do some of the inspector, attribute inspector, okay, or you don't need to worry about it. Well, you can take a look at this if you want. Or if any ruler needed, for example, width or height needs to be set, then you could use this. Where can you get the attribute inspector and ruler? They are all in utility pane, which is see in Xcode uh, editor. Then it can be divided into three planes, right? Here, navigator, here, editor, and the right hand side there is a utility pane. In the right hand there can be two parts. Upper part is a play, utility pane, and the bottom here you can find out graphical elements. Okay, so that's what I am talking about here. And then if you not only this attribute inspector and ruler, but if you need any additional constraints to be set, then you could do that on some of the, see here your editor, therefore your storyboard uh, appears here, then somewhere here little icons, right here. So one of those small icons is for constraints. I'm sorry. Okay. Uh, so that is it. Um, and then yeah, this is the same as the others, right? Little bit more if you want to do, for example, uh, on that to set the constraints, then you better unclick constraints to margin. This appears on that. So better to unclick. Therefore, you can set the constraints to the margin, about the margin, from top, from left, from right, whatever. Okay. Um, Sometimes by default, this constraints to margin is clicked. So that's what I'm saying. Uh, so I wanted to do unclick. The other one is control. If you have somehow um, set the constraints uh, between two components, for example, one element and the container, or one element with another, then um, control and drag and drop uh, uh, the arrows so that you can see uh, some menu to set uh, the equal height or equal width somehow. Okay, so, right now you do not know what I'm talking about, but in my um, hands-on, then you may be able to see it. Okay, this is the way that you can um, you can place the graphical elements directly on your storyboard. Uh, the other way, but I recommend this. This is a really if you do this, then it'll be robust um, and can also be adjustable to different size of fonts and different uh, orientation. For example, right? You can like landscape or portraits. Still, if you want to make your graphical elements uh, organized very nicely, the way that you design for portrait, then accordingly to landscape. To make it more flexible or efficiently, I want you to use Stackview. Okay, so this is a Stackview. Um, from my experience, there are two ways of using Stackviews. First approach is the bottom up. This is actually what we are going to show today. Is the way here is that you can place your elements directly on your storyboard, and if the elements are so crowded um, or elements are not really adjustable to the orientation or the size of the devices, therefore it could be messed up somehow, then then you can declare them in a stack uh, from the low level and all the way back up to the global level. Okay, so every graphical components finally can be in a stack formats. So at the end, at the global level, you may have one stack view. Usually it is a vertical stack view. That is also possible. That is so-called bottom-up. The other way is a top-down approach, which means that you first design. Let's say you set up a vertical stack, and then you can place element into a certain stack, or you can create another stack within a stack. So let's say the global stack is a vertical, so vertical stack contains a horizontal stack uh, on one of the stacks. Okay, so there is a horizontal stack which is contained in the vertical stack, may have another vertical stack. That may be possible too, right? So for example, here, entire that is a global stack. I mean a vertical stack. Vertical stack has, for example, horizontal stack so that you have two elements can fit in, which is the label and text field. Same thing here, the bottom, you may have one horizontal stack, okay? That horizontal stack contains horizontal stack, therefore there's two elements. Each element has a vertical stack. So in this vertical stack, you have two elements there. Okay, so upper one is called the clear, and bottom one is a label, all together in the vertical stack. And there is another vertical stack to the left, therefore to the right. Therefore, all together, two vertical stack will be in one horizontal stack. So one in the left, one in the right. There may be more than two. So this horizontal stack, together with the many other horizontal stacks, can be in one entire global vertical stack. Okay, that is possible. That is top-down approach. Bottom-up approach is that if we have these elements already placed, then you can say, hey, I want to put this together in one horizontal stack. I want this guy in another horizontal stack. I want this guy in another horizontal stack, and so on and so forth. And this guy in vertical stack together, this guy in vertical stack, and then I can combine them in a horizontal stack. So we have a multiple horizontal stack. Therefore, finally we can say, oh, everything together will be in a vertical stack. So that is a bottom-up approach. Okay. So either way will be possible. So I'm going to show it to you. The application, have Xcode, and then create a new Xcode and single view application. Then I can say homework 1 echo. Next, and I want to save this on my one of the directories. That is, the file is created. All right, so once we have this, then let's go to the storyboard. Okay, right now this is too big, so that I'm going to make it a little smaller. Okay, And then here I don't see any. Oh yeah, this is a line, and this is a new constraints. It's a resolve auto layout issue. And bottom here we have elements search box, and then here is the utilities. All right. So what we are going to do, well, first of all, I'm going to put a label. So bring that label up here, and I'm going to make it a little bigger, and I would here you might have, right now this is a ruler, so-called show the size inspector. This is a attribute inspector. So in the attribute inspector, rather than label, you can change it, enter your name, and then there's a plane. If you want to make it a little bigger here, then you can do a little bigger. And if you come back here to size inspector, it was called the ruler previous version. But right now, the size of that is width is 172 and height 21. If you want to make the height a little bigger, that's fine too. Width, if you want to reduce, fine. But let's put this into 170. Okay. All right. Another one that we want to do is text field. Then we have text view and text field. So I'm going to put this up here. Then I'm going to expand a little further. I'm going to move this to left, and this should be a little bigger. Okay. Okay. And again, come back here. So while this is clicked, if you click this, then you can do size inspector and attribute inspector. If you click this part, the text field, you could do the same inspector. If you cannot click this very nicely, then you can come back here and click. If you click, see here, this is a view. This is entire view. That contains label here. So enter your name, and then another text field that is, if you highlight here, then that is nothing but click that element here. So either way will be okay to work on, for example, any attribute inspector, so that you can expand this if you like, and size inspector, then you can do also. So we don't need to do much, right? Okay, that's what we have so far, and then we can do more. So let's put this on here for similar to others. It's 175. This is 175. Yeah, both are 175. And then if you want to copy here, then you can do. What you can do here is for copy, you can do Control D, D for duplicates, right? So by clicking this and come back here, you can say enter uh, year in college. If this is too big, let's say, oh, this is too big, so that you can, yeah, change this a little bit. And then I'm going to put there one button. Okay, so that I have a button here. Inspector, I want to say that echo, and then increase echo a little bit bigger, and come back here, size inspector. I would say the width should be bigger, right? What about 70? Does it make sense? Still, that is, oh, that's a good size, 70. Let's make it 75. 75. Come back here. And I'm gonna make background color for that. Shadow text. It's not background color image. Image. No, text color, shadow color. Is this shadow? Let me see if I would do shadow color. It's not really shadow color. We don't need text. Text right now. That is blue. Let's see here. Image. We don't know what to do. View. Arrange. Size margin. Okay. Not much that we could do. I was thinking of the background. This is the image. For the background images. So we don't need background image. That's fine. All right. So that is one, and we could have. I want to duplicate this by. Oops. Let's see. Here I want to make color red and more. All right, I'm going to close that. Okay, I have then another label, and that could be here. And I'm going to put all the way a little bigger. Label, I would not do anything here, but let's see, this label, color fonts along here. Highlights, referring to highlights. Is it working? Highlights? It's not really highlights. Shadow offset, views. Okay, background here. That's what I want to do. I want to do background. Background. If it is highlight, then it should be some others. Maybe this. Okay, that is for the highlights. All right, this is a label for the moment. So let's see what happens. Uh, it looks so ugly, right? Um, if we want to rotate this, it's not really good, right? So, so I'm going to stop this, and then I'm going to put some constraints here. The way that we can constraint is, well, to, to save time, let's do it in this way. I want to put this and this by clicking, holding down Shift button. So two items are clicked, which means if you see here, enter your name and round, I mean, text field together. And I'm going to put that here, embed stack, but I'm going to put that in um, horizontal, that is fine. Alignment field, um, horizontally fill all the way left and right, and then distribution uh, together, let's say proportionally, and so on and so forth, right? So that's what we do, and we can do also this and that together in the horizontal. Let's put it there, and this together again. This is horizontal, all right, and this is alone. That's fine. So we have stacks here, another stack, and another stack, and label all together. So click all of those, and then I'm going to put them here. Then they are vertical, right? And alignment, I think fill and distribution fill also. Okay, so that's what I did. What happened? So there is a error. Interface ability does not support to your level size. This Stackview needs constraints for Y position and things like that. So this Stackview align. So stops. So something wrong here. So we cannot choose any one over here, but I think I need to wait. Wow, I have so many processes is running, right? So that may be the reason. So click this, come back here. This size horizontally. I would say put spacing 10, place a line. Let's see what happens here. So 10. This is very small. So Stackview. Somehow, oh my God, so that interface does not support the URL sizes larger than that. I didn't do anything, but why? It's a label. Label size. Partition view. is this? This is this is the label. Label is the problem. Label height is too big. Label height, say 200. With height of 200 is too big. I think 50. This, and then with the new constraints for that, I wanted this. The distance from left margin and distance from right margin, I want to put 0 and 0. From top and bottom, I don't do anything, and then we add that. Okay, so I add this. Now a little better, right? Now what I need to do, okay, this, I need to do constraints. This is the problem, so I'm going to put this to 0, left and right, that should be 0. I don't need to do that. I want this on click, and here also 0, and add that. All right, to do these constraints. Trail, super trail, label trail. Okay, let's see how it works now. Oh, doesn't show. This is stack. This is stack again. Let's see. Oh, why this is 16? If it's 17, 17. Still 10 here. I want to make this 10 there, and the width height this, let's say okay. Wow, that works. And then here, this is too big, so I'm going to, it's a little bit masked, right? A little bit masked up. I need to come back here. And again, rather than doing that, what I'm going to do here, fill proportionally, no, fill, just a fill. How about that? Yeah. And then here, again, that and top, put here space 10 vertically a little bit, and this one looks okay. Okay, here I'm gonna put this equally, and then spacing 20. Okay, so let's try. Just a second. I want to it's not showing. So all together, okay, let's try to see. To put this 0 there. Okay, so I have that, but not completely. So what I'm going to do here, to 20. Okay, a little better, so that we can put some and echo. We didn't do others, right? But in this way, we see this very closely. All right. So this needs a lot of practice. Hopefully, you might have the same experience as I do, and I will see you next time.